You want to know something that pisses me off in games? RNG-based luck systems. Basically, you know how in gacha games or games where there's like a wheel spinner and there's a super rare almighty legendary character that everybody wants but nobody can get because it has a super low chance? Well, that's all based behind RNG. Essentially, what RNG does is it's just a system that developers can implement into their game where a computer gets to pick between a random set of numbers in order for the character to be unlocked. And usually developers, what they'll do for these rare characters is make it where there's a very rare chance for a computer to pick a specific number, and that's why that character is really rare. They're put behind very rare odds in the code. But how does this all tie into Mario Kart World? Well, lo and behold, there's an RNG-based system in the game. And I want to talk about it because I just the other day was trying to unlock some characters in Mario Kart World, but I found out it's based behind RNG. And it made me really angry. I spent a ton of time trying to get these characters. It's super annoying. And it kind of makes me mad that Nintendo did this, especially since this game costs a lot of money and I want to be able to unlock everything in it. I don't know. I just want to rant about it. I hope you'll listen in on this, and maybe Nintendo will fix this or just make it a little better somehow. Let's get to it. Character unlocking. In Mario Kart World, there's a few ways to unlock characters. Actually, 2 ways to be exact. The first way is just by playing through Grand Prix. If you play through the Grand Prix Cups, as you do that, you'll progress and you'll unlock characters. For example, if you beat the first cup, you'll unlock Donkey Kong. If you want to play the Lightning Cup, you'll unlock Bowser Jr., so on. That's good. That's a good system. I like that. You get to do stuff, you get to play the game, and in return, you unlock a character. It's your reward for playing tracks. You get to actually be doing something. It feels like you did something for a reason. You played the tracks for a reason. Not only because they're fun, but you also got to unlock something out of it. Alright, that's a good system. That's a pretty normal way of doing things, I would say. Here's what's not great, though. To unlock a lot of the other characters, they are only obtainable through the brand new Kamek item. Yes, there are a set of about 7 new items, I believe, and one of those items is the Kamek power-up. What Kamek essentially does is whoever gets it gets to use it, and Kamek will swoop into the crowd and wreak havoc for you, essentially. What he'll do is he'll place a bunch of rampaging characters and items in front of the players, and then they'll have to maneuver their way through them. As well as this, though, Kamek will transform the players ahead of the user who used it into that character that's all over the track. And in doing that, the players will also unlock that character for future use. On paper, this doesn't sound that bad, maybe. I mean, you unlock characters through playing. You're playing in Grand Prix, and you get this item, and you unlock characters, right? It's just the same as beating a Grand Prix, and then you unlock character after. No, it is not. I know it may sound like that, but let me tell you something. I have played through every Grand Prix Cup multiple times, every Knockout Tour Cup multiple times. I've played a lot of online and versus races, and I have still not unlocked every character. You would think that even just 1 or 2 Grand Prix playthroughs, maybe playing through Grand Prix and Knockout Tour, would unlock all of the characters. But no, I'm still missing a few of them, and while I did unlock a lot, I'm still missing a lot of them. Now you may say, well, okay, just go back and play the rest of the Grand Prix or play them again. Well, here's the deal. I shouldn't have to unlock these characters. I don't know why they're locked behind Kamek. And even if I play through all these Grand Prix, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get Kamek, and there's no guarantee that I'll spawn the character I want for him. This is because some characters are locked to specific tracks. For example, to get the Fishbone character, you need to be on either Toad's Factory, Drybone's Burnout, and one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. Which is why I can't just go through and play all the Grand Prix in a hope that I get Kamek to spawn and get me this character. I want to unlock a specific character. This means that I have to play through a specific track like Toad's Factory or Drybone's Burnout multiple times over, just playing it over and over and over again, hoping that I get Kamek. which isn't fun. I want to play through a bunch of tracks. At the very least, if I could play through a bunch of different tracks with variety in them and still get this character, that would be nice. But no, I have to just play through this same track over and over and over and over and over again in hopes of possibly getting Kamek to spawn and then possibly getting this character, because there's multiple characters tied to each track. But this is just where the problems begin. This is just the start of things, because Kamek is one of the most rare power-ups in the entire game. Let me try to put it in perspective. You know the Mario Kart 8 deluxe item, which was literally just the Lucky 8 power-up, and it would basically give you all the items. It was like unlocking God himself to play Mario Kart for you. Yeah, that item is incredibly rare. This item is about, if not more, rare. It is stupid rare. Like I said, I've played through every cup and I've gotten him like 6 times. I've gotten Kamek 6 times. It's nuts. I seriously think Kamek has got to be like a 1 in 1,000 chance. I don't know. It is insane. Here's the thing. The reason I got fired up about this is because yesterday I had 2 friends over and we played Mario Kart, as one does when they have friends over. And we were just playing casually at first, and then I told them, hey, I haven't unlocked all the characters. Do you guys want to help me? They agreed, actually, and I was kind of surprised by that. I thought they just want to keep playing. But they decided that they would help me, until I told them about the annoying Kamek unlockable, the item that you have to get in order to unlock these characters. Now, they still understood the assignment, right? We knew what we were doing. We were going to play, and we were going to play on the specific track we needed. We were trying to get Fishbone. We were trying to play on Toad's Factory. We played through it a bunch of times, and we were going to play through it a bunch of times in order to hopefully get Kamek to spawn the character we'd like. We played through Toad's Factory 9 or 10 times probably, and we got Kamek once, and it did not give us Fishbone, it gave us Charging Chuck. I already have Charging Chuck. Please, Nintendo, if I'm just playing in versus with a couple friends and a bunch of NPCs, can I get the character that I haven't yet unlocked? Because this power-up is already stupid rare. Like I said, we got it once in our like 10 playthroughs of Toad's Factory that day, and we didn't even get the character we wanted. Oh, but the problems don't stop here, because at this point, after we had played through these a bunch of times, I was like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. Why can't we get Kamek? I decided to look it up on Google, as one does when they can't figure something out. I looked it up on Google and found out that we were doing things right. We were playing on the right track. We were playing it right. We had everything right. Kamek is just that stupid rare, and he won't give you the character you want necessarily. And here's the thing. Here's how I knew it was bad. Because people are making guides and full articles on Reddit as well as on websites on how to do this with the non-intended method. Literally anything but just playing through Grand Prix regularly to try and get all the characters, because as I discussed, that's not gonna cut it. You won't unlock all the characters by just playing through Grand Prix. Basically, I'll try to describe the system really quick here. What you do is you go into versus races with no comm, and you play in 150cc or 50cc, and you play in 2-player, or at least 2-player. One player goes to a set of item boxes, and that player is going to sit there and farm items monotonously for 10 plus minutes just trying to get Kamek. Then, the other player will go up ahead of those item boxes by 5 or 6 seconds. That player who is going up by 5 or 6 seconds sits there and AFKs and does nothing, while the other player farms for items in hopes of getting Kamek. This is already super stupid because it's boring, and even in all the guides, people are like, this is such a boring system, but it works, and I can confirm it does work, even though we did not unlock a single character. Let me explain. Alright, we wanted Fishbone, like I said. We went to Drybone's Burnout, and we did that strategy. I had 2 friends, 2 of them would go farm items, and I would go up ahead. We would switch roles every so often, so we didn't have to be constantly farming items, and one player would go up and AFK. Yeah, all that. And here's the thing. Races time out after a certain amount of time. Meaning, if you don't race through them all the way and complete it, eventually there's an invisible clock that counts down, and once it gets to the end of its countdown, then the race ends and you have to restart. The timer times out at about, I want to say 10 or 15 minutes. We were playing for that whole time farming items, and in all of these times, we probably restarted trying to do this again 5 or 6 times, we were able to get Kamek twice. The first time, we were playing Toad's Factory, actually, and we got Kamek, and we used it, and it didn't give us Fishbone. It gave us Coin Coffer, not the character we wanted. I already had Coin Coffer. Then, on Drybone's Burnout, we did it again, and Kamek just went right past me and did nothing. My friend was farming items, and he just went right past me. Or I was farming items, and it went right past my friend and did nothing. It probably was because we were on different layers of ground. He was on, like, the bone layer and stuff, and I was on ground. That's probably why. But it was so annoying, because at least, it would take at least, like, 5 or 8 or some minutes into farming items to even get the item once. And after we used it, we didn't even know if it would give us the character we wanted. And this isn't even the last character I have to unlock. I have 2 more to unlock after this. The characters I have to unlock are Peepa the Ghost thing, Fishbone, that thing, and Swoop, the bat, the literal bat. Those are all the characters I have to unlock. They're all in their own respective areas that you have to go to, meaning we would have to repeat this process multiple times if we wanted to get those other characters. Oh my gosh, I just full on rambled right there. Okay, I'm just mad that we spent like an hour at this yesterday and we didn't even get one character. I think it is so annoying that this is the system they chose for unlocking certain characters. And there are a lot of ways they could have done this, like a lot. And I think they chose the worst possible method for unlocking these characters. While I was pissed off about this, I even came up with a few other ways they could have done this better. First of all, free roam. Now, a lot of people don't like free roam. I know a lot of people say that there's not much to do and it's kind of barren. I see what they mean, but I'm actually liking it more than most people. I think I actually am kind of having fun just driving around and stuff. I think it's kind of fun. But I do agree that it would be nice if there were some kind of objective or maybe even a storyline to go along with it. Or at the very least, there could be some side quests for you to do. Here's where the characters come in. What if you could do side quests in order to unlock characters? Like, maybe the character has gone missing or something, and you need to go to their respective habitat in order to find them. Or maybe you just have to do a random side quest and they're unlocked. I don't know. It doesn't have to make that much sense. It should just allow you to unlock characters. That would be cool, and it would add some more fulfillment into free roam. Another way they could do it is just make it where you unlock them through Grand Prix. What's wrong with the way they had it with Grand Prix unlockable characters? They could just do more of that. Knockout Tour doesn't have any unlockable characters to my knowledge, or at least I don't think. Maybe they do, but they could make it where if you play Knockout Tour, you can unlock characters. That would work. That would be cool. Heck, they can make it where if you play Time Trials and beat Ghost, you could unlock characters that way. Any way besides this RNG-based system. It is annoying. I genuinely hope that this gets fixed and makes it easier for you to unlock these characters. Whether it be one of the methods I just discussed, or literally, if they just made Kamek a less rare item. Make him a bit more common. Doesn't have to be super common, but at least make it common enough to where I can play through all of Grand Prix and Knockout Tour and unlock all the characters. Because in previous Mario Kart games, I'm talking Mario Kart 8, you play through the Grand Prix, you want to get coins, and you unlock characters. And after you play through all the Grand Prix, you should have every character unlocked. That makes sense. You beat the game, you should have every character. And I get it, maybe there's a super rare character that requires 100%. Sure. But at least there's an objective behind that. You have to get 100% to unlock that character. But these characters are not like 100% crazy things. They're just pretty normal stuff. I mean, you could argue that they're not normal to the Mario series, but they're not anything out of this world. Hey, no offense to you guys. Now, is this just me being a completionist? I know I probably won't even use these characters all the time, but still, I will play as them. I've played as every character, I think, to my knowledge now. I want to play as them still. And also, I want to get 100% in this game, like I said, and I know a lot of people do too. And sure, I know a lot of people probably won't go for all these characters, but it's just cool to have them all, you know? And I don't even know if I will 100% in this game in its entirety. I just want the characters, man. I want to unlock all the characters. I think that would be cool. I don't know, though. I know I just kind of crashed out and ranted and rambled for like the past 18 minutes, but I really, this is something that I'm kind of mad about, and I kind of hope Nintendo fixes it. Now, am I kind of over-exaggerating for the video? Definitely, yes. Am I actually this mad about it? No, not really. Is it actually Mario Kart World's biggest problem? Probably not. But it makes me angry still that these characters are unlocked behind an RNG-based system, and it was a pretty dumb move on Nintendo's half. If you agreed with me on any of the points in this video, please let me know in the comments. Maybe the community can rise up and Nintendo will fix this. Who knows? I kind of doubt it, but maybe we'll get a content update in the near future that will hotfix some things, and this will be fixed in some capacity. I would really like that. But thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you if you made it all this way for listening to me ramble for the past 20 minutes. It really means a lot to me that you made it to the end of this video. This has been Kababian on Mario Kart World's actual biggest problem. I will see you all in the next one. Later.